Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's have a look at some of the key matches yesterday and whether you got any trading angles out of those, if you're at the live stream or not. Man United Liverpool, derby style match. It's a bogey team for old Sparkly Teeth, isn't it? Man United. Sheffield United and Chelsea. What a great result for Sheffield United, but it was there in the stars, wasn't it? You looked at the research for Chelsea. See if we can find the research for Sunday, and it'll give you a clue as to Chelsea's porous defence. These are recent scorelines for Chelsea: 2-2, 3-2, 2-2, 4-3. So I was looking at laying Sheffield United if they score 2 goals, because I know that Chelsea have 2 in them. But great stuff for Sheffield United. A key point, but it's likely academic. They are relegated unless there is a miracle of a semi-religious nature. Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. Disappointing for Forest. They did get a goal, but this is the difference. Just the quality up front for the Spuds. Van der Ven and Porro, not familiar goal scorers. Well, the Chris Wood stat didn't quite work on this occasion. Probably just too good a Tottenham side. Hoffenheim and Augsburg, as ever, leave the mighty Hoff alone, but they do get a goal before half-time. Wolfsburg and Mönchengladbach. I didn't really play this, but another score draw for Wolfsburg was on the cards. They do love a score draw, but Mönchengladbach got 2 late goals. I couldn't have foreseen that one. I wouldn't have played. Not a strong match. Frosinone and Bologna. Arguably a good result for Frosinone, given Bologna's solid season. Monza and Napoli. Monza did score first. Nice trade. Cagliari and Atalanta. This was a surprise again. And it's one of those matches, isn't it? You want to have a look where Cagliari are. These underdogs are picking them up. Picking up wins at this stage of the season where points are required. Take 3 away from this and you'll see the kind of mire that Cagliari were in. Just a point above the relegation zone. This makes it look a lot nicer. They are a whole win and a draw away from being caught. Grateful that Frosinone didn't get a point yesterday as well. So all working, or didn't get a win yesterday. All working very well for Cagliari. Juve and Fiorentina. Well, Juve had 1 or 2 goals disallowed during this match. Should have alerted you to a possibility of laying the late draw. Well, that's academic. 21st minute goal. I was just mentioning the likes of this. There was another one second half as well, which got disallowed. The Dutch Eredivisie. Wow. Something is wrong at Ajax. But it was there in the seasonal form. Ajax have not had a good time against the top 4, top 5. This was an emphatic performance. The second, it was AZ Alkmaar that got 5-0 battering. Went exactly the way of the odds. So it was a derby-style match. I was umming and ahhing about laying Feyenoord 3-0 up at half-time. But glad I didn't. 1 or 2 opportunities we missed. At least one. Must-win territory for Volendam and Valvik. Should have laid the late Desmond Tutu there. Disappointed that I didn't get onto that one for you. Moving on down. Nothing much else doing. Allsvenskan is still too early in the league, but Elfsborg got a significant win. Remember, one of only 2 sides on 64 points last season. That was Malmo, the alternative as well. So both of the big guns vying for the title early on. A couple of 0-0s and a superettan. Just a reminder to you, this early in the season, no backbone of form. We've got no record of whether Utsikten can get rid of these 0-0s second half. So reluctant to play. Let's have a look elsewhere. A new possible idea. When you've got a 2.5 the favourite match and one of the sides is leading 0-2 before half-time, you might want to lay them. The odds will be short enough, and don't forget to back Jablonec. If you did back Heidenheim as well as laying Bayern, you'd have made an absolute fortune, 200 plus return. Holly Johnson from Frankie Goes to Hollywood getting the goal before half-time. That's your out. You'd actually make a decent profit. For example, with Union St Gilwell, we made £34 just for a goal before half-time. So it's something I'm working on. The 0-2. This is another example. Nordland 2-0 down, but we didn't get a goal before half-time. We got it after half-time, and you could have come out with a green screen. What a pity that penalty was missed. Take them off your Christmas card list. Very early goal would have got a really good swing in the odds. For example, I think it was about an £8 liability for me, with about a £14 green screen just on that single goal. Don't forget, when you've done the green screen, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. And we were very unlucky. We did get a Copenhagen second goal, but it was disallowed. We were up against it, really, playing against superhero Ant-Man. So it was a tough ask. Midtjylland and Aarhus, no real play there. French Ligue 1, and it seemed these sides in desperate need of points and were trying their best not to score. Nice and Rennes, we laid the late draw at about 1.25 and lower, just because the need for points, really, for good reasons. They're not in the relegation dogfight, but they are keen to get European places. Similar story, Montpellier and Lorient. We could have really laid the draw second half there, but coming off the back of two failed laid the draws myself, I was a bit put off at this stage of the season. Lyon continue to have an excellent second part of the season. Did not score first. That could have been a real angle in. Far too late for me to play, I'm afraid. It's up 45. And indeed, Nantes did score first. You've got a really good Lyon side in the offing if they can click. Lacazette, Benrahma. That's the Premier League standard in this less than Premier League French Ligue 1. Matic as well. It's not the Matic, is it? Yeah, Nemanja Matic. How about that? So some familiar names to Premier League followers there for Lyon. And they are gelling, it seems. Osnabrück and Greuther Fürth. 2-0 lead for Osnabrück early on. Greuther Fürth's stats were good, so we did lay Osnabrück back Greuther Fürth, but didn't get a return here on this occasion. All you need really is that one goal early enough, and you're out with that odds movement. Looking at the in-play stats, it was good stuff from Greuther Fürth. That's what kept me hoping. 10 shots off target was the main culprit here. That was the main problem. 10 shots off target. 8 corners, good enough, but they just couldn't cross the line. But whenever you're laying any side 2-0 up, your liability is very low. I tend to keep my liability at below £9, and you'll still have a 3-figure return on the side 2-0 down. So it's not all bad. The Greek Super League is a good reminder to you of the 20-minute rule. 1.22 favourite. Because this is an open video, I'm not going to pass it on, but members know the 20-minute rule. You'd have got yourself about an 8 or 9 to 1 return in that particular match. So it's well worth persevering with. Well, Hapoel Beersheva, I hope you took out insurance, laying over 1.5 goals to cover that 1-0. And backing the Beer +1. They do tend to turn up, Hapoel Beersheva, or at least give us a break even. So in that regard, it was a successful play, albeit a break even. We normally get that equaliser, but the red card, I think, just came too late. It didn't really affect the match. Probably frustration from a player not going through. But Hapoel Beersheva have been one of the best trading sides this season. It's still early in the Norwegian Eliteserien, so it's up to you if you play or not. Certainly the in-play stats suggested that Molde were dominant against HamKam, and they've got the deserved lead, but still very quiet. So it's a watching brief at the moment. You will see as about 5 or 6 matches emerge, some patterns forming. This was another 2-2 that I was disappointed I didn't pass on to you to lay. I was actually writing it out, if you believe me. I had the word Chavez written, and then Chavez scored the goal to make it 3-2. then that altered to 2-3 Portimonense. Why would I have targeted this for a late lay the draw? It's all there in the standings. Chavez with a win takes them to 21 points. Portimonense losing takes them back down to 23 points. This is a real hammer blow for Portimonense. The Chavs had to get the win, and indeed it was 3-2 very fleetingly. So don't forget at this stage of the season, when you have matches like this, their goal disallowed there, look, that 3-2 could have changed their season, could literally change their season. If that stood and it remained 3-2, they'd have been nearer to the relegation playoff place. It looked an angry La Liga Portugal. Porto and Guimarães, did the red card affect Porto? Well, 0-2 down. So a possible play there. Pepe, well, he's never been red carded before. How about that? 1.36 favourite, not turning up. But the first goal being an own goal. Had I been alive to this or awake at 8:30 plus 6 hours, no chance of me being awake, I think I would have been tempted in here. All dependent on the in-play stats, of course, and whether Porto, I don't think Porto would have any European club competition. That could be a reason. If you're playing on a Sunday, normally the European club competition for Sunday players will be on a Thursday. So we'll have a look there. Don't think Porto are playing. Benfica certainly are. No sign of Porto in the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. Don't think Porto are in the Champions League. Indeed, they're not. No sign of them. So no excuses yesterday. I think 0-2 to 1-2. 1-2 would have been your out unless you took insurance again and laid over 3.5 goals to cover that 1-2. I think the odds would have still been short enough because with that 1-2 the market would have been thinking normal service would be resumed. What an absolutely mental SPL Old Firm derby. I don't tend to play derby matches for this specific reason. It's very, very hard to unpack, like the Man United match. A 0-2 lead for Celtic, second goal being a penalty, could have alerted you to the possibility of laying the draw. Laying Celtic at 0-2 in a 2.8 the favourite, 2.38 the favourite match, i.e. market was expecting a lot tighter. You'd have actually got the 2-2 out of it. Could have been a lot quicker. Seamer in the 86th minute, and this late action was quite astounding. I did lay the late 3-3 at very, very short odds, 1.1 and lower, just in case they pulled out a winner. But every Glaswegian there going out happy enough. The side didn't lose, the Old Firm. So that was about it yesterday. And today, it's very, very quiet indeed. You won't be needing me at all. The only major match today is Udinese against Inter Milan. And this is an Udinese side who tend to draw against 13th and lower, but they're playing first in the league. Tend to concede 3 goals against the top 3 at home. So we are expecting a comfortable away win today. Here's to Divisi. Usual rules apply, particularly with short odds. Goals, goals, goals. Very quiet today. Allsvenskan, I can't offer you anything at all. It's only 2 or 3 matches into the season. Absolutely no research available there. Racing Santander, odds on favourite in the La Liga 2. Do have a look at the league positions. Is there any motivation for Racing Santander? Indeed there is, with Elche, Sporting Gijón, Levante and Ferrol waiting in the wings to take over this promotion playoff place, semi-final place. And they'll be keen to get a result today. Alcorcon, I think they're nearer the bottom basement. Indeed, the onus is on Alcorcon to get the win today as well. Take them out of the relegation zone. 4 places. Bit of a harsh league. So that has plenty of contributing factors to it. Just on the need for points. So lay any late draw there. As alluded to, Allsvenskan Superettan. I can't offer you anything yet. So it's a quiet day. It's a transition from league football to Champions League tomorrow. Auxerre and Estac Troyes in the standings. Let's have a look at these two. 1.44 favourite in French Ligue 2, which will be one of our ending of the summer leagues, ending of the season leagues to follow. Auxerre top of the league and a game in hand over Saint-Etienne and Angers. So get another win here and they're going to comfortably cement their spot for automatic promotion. Estac Troyes, though, will have other things to think about. A win for them takes them up to 38 and outside the relegation zone. Don't dismiss Estac Troyes. We've seen this kind of configuration in the Championship, League 1 and League 2, and it's normally the relegation threatened side that comes out on top. So I would not take these odds to heart. It's all about the in-play stats in that particular match at 7:45. Could be one for you to follow. Plenty need for points for both teams for different reasons. Israeli Liga Ha'al Championship Group. It's a little more tough to unpack, that one. So it's a quiet day. As I said, a transition from league football to predominantly Champions League football throughout the week. So that's about it for today. Good luck this evening. Udinese Inter looks very straightforward, which is what us traders like. That Alcorcon match looks interesting as well. A couple of odds on favourites in the Eredivisie might have you ticking along nicely this evening. You won't be hearing from me. I'll see you again tomorrow for the start of the Champions League. I'll only be doing research from these websites, putting them through AI for you to give you something to think about, because I wouldn't research these matches. They are, for me, derby-style matches. They're one-off affairs, huge sides playing each other. I suppose Arsenal look worthy odds on favourites, given Bayern Munich have been woeful. As I allude to, we could have got 200 to 1 about Heidenheim had I laid Bayern and backed Heidenheim 0-2. I only laid Bayern, which was a pity. Pre-Champions League as well, and that paid off. So Champions League is the dominant force for Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got the English Championship, English League 1, English League 2. Excellent stuff. I might have to stay up for that now. Bleary-eyed. Well worth following. And we've got to know our league positions as well. Have a great Monday. Very quiet coupon. I'll see you again tomorrow.